I have linked to the Economic Collapse blog and your other blogs as well for many, many years. I'm very familiar with your work and what you do. But there's other people that are out there that might not be familiar. Actually, one of the great things that has happened recently is a lot of people are coming to listen to the podcast. And so the podcast numbers are up. There's a lot of new people that are interested in preparedness, which is really great. But so for those that aren't familiar with your work, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you started writing about economics?
Yeah. If you go back as many years now, and in fact, when I speak in front of audiences, I say, let me immediately get on your bad side by telling you I used to be an attorney. And, and that gets a chuckle from the audience typically. And then I say, let me really get on your bad side by telling you that I used to be a Washington, D.C. attorney. Now, of course, this was many years ago, but as I was, heading into DC, I took the metro in every day, another kind of one of the faceless hordes of bureaucratic people pushing papers around. As I was working and I was seeing what's happening in our society, and of course, at that time, we were heading into a financial crisis and everything else. And I was just becoming deeply concerned about what I was seeing. I thought, well, what can I do? I get up in the morning, I go to work. No one knows who I am. No one cares who I am. How in the world could I possibly make a difference? So I was praying about it. And eventually I started writing. I started with a couple of really small blogs. And at first you could have measured my readership with a microscope, but I kept at it. I didn't give up. And that's, as with so many things in life, that's the key. You just got to keep going and keep working. So I kept going. And then eventually I started the Economic Collapse blog in 2009. I can't believe that it's been now more than a decade. And that really struck a chord at that time because so many people, were losing their jobs, they were losing their homes. That there was so much chaos going on with the economy and the financial system at that time. So it really took off. And then I also started endoftheamericandream.com, the most important news.com, and all those continue to this day. But the audience started getting very, very large, and shortly after that. Then, we moved out of there and eventually we ended up here at where I tell people I'm in an undisclosed location in the mountains in the Northwest. And so it's funny because you think if you're going to impact the world, that Washington, D.C. would be a great place to do it. But God took us out of there, brought us up to the middle of nowhere, up in the mountains. And from here, we're literally touching countless people all over the globe. We get emails from people all over the planet that we're touching with the truth. And so, it's incredible, what the internet has allowed us to do, where, the internet's used for all sorts of horrible things, but it's also allowed ordinary people like me, ordinary people like you, to literally touch people all over the planet with it going around the gatekeepers and having an amazing impact for the Lord and for the truth. And so I'm very thankful for, the doors the Lord has opened. I never imagined that I would, someday be doing the things that I've had the opportunity to do, but it's not for ourselves that we're doing it. It's for Him, and it's for these times. It's literally, Todd, you and I and others have been warning people for years and years and years, and we've been mocked a lot for what we've done for encouraging people to prepare. And now the time is upon us, and a lot of people that we're mocking are caught totally unprepared. They're not ready, and a lot of people, they're going to end up getting the virus. They're a lot of the mockers are going to pay a great price for mocking, and a lot of people that used to be mocking are now like, man, you guys were right. So to a certain extent, we're now being vindicated. And Todd, actually, what we're experiencing now, people need to understand, is just the beginning. We're just at the very beginning of the things that are going to transpire down the road. But things have gotten very, very serious very, very rapidly.
You are very true in what you're saying, and you're right about the mocking. And sometimes in preparedness, you want to be very careful about what you say, because you wind up looking like a whack job. If you're out there and you have a real job, but you feel like you need to warn people and you want to make sure that they know what is out there, you got to do it very delicately, because you wind up seemingly to be a whack job. And so I completely understand the vindication. To I'm glad that people will. I guess I'm not so concerned myself about the vindication, is more to, I hope people start getting prepared. I hope they see this thing that has happened, and then they start to say, you know what, it did happen very fast. This did, I mean, we had no eyes on it. Those that were paying attention, have eyes on it, but it happened so fast, and here we are. And I never want to be in this kind of situation again. And so hopefully that, we come out of it that way. So I've been reading people that say, people that have been saying this is going to change the way we do life here, moving forward. And so hopefully people do start moving to that more self-reliant life.